Our international affairs editor, Angela Diffley, like many French people, has been listening to that interview, and she's with me now here on a set. Angela, first of all, how did Emmanuel Macron come across in this Bastilleday televised interview?
Well, there had been some reports that he had been somewhat battered by recent weeks in French politics and was a bit tired, and that was not borne out at all by this. It was a sunny day in the garden of the Palais d'Élysée. He seemed quite bouncy, energetic, dynamic, and quite comfortable. So for the form, he did not in any way appear bruised by recent weeks. That said, I think many people were expecting something more of a big picture interview, talking about issues that cut deep in France, divisions within France, how to reunite France, what's gone wrong with France. And in fact, this was an interview which was quite technical, quite detailed. A lot of French people get together on Bastille Day. They might watch this together. It was very long and very technical, and far be it from me to say, but I wonder if a lot of people didn't switch channels halfway through. It was quite detailed stuff.
And Angela, what were some of the big takeaway points from this TV appearance? What did the French nation learn from Emmanuel Macron?
Well, there was some difficult news, despite the sunny atmosphere. He did say that the war in Ukraine is likely to last and that its impact on energy supplies in Europe would be serious. And he said quite clearly that businesses, public bodies and individuals would be asked to make changes in their lifestyles and perhaps personal sacrifice, be a bit careful about turning on and off lights. He kept it very light, but he made clear that there would be some sort of plan of action to use less electricity and energy in France. It is true that France, a lot of France's electricity comes from, 75% of it comes from nuclear energy. So France isn't as badly hit by any Russian gas supply cuts as many other European countries. But he pointed out that it is also a matter of solidarity with the rest of Europe. Interesting to note that he said that there would be efforts made so that employers could help out employees who either use their cars to get to work or need their cars during their jobs. Now, that is a big indication that the spectre of the Gilets jaunes is still out there in France. That so badly and seriously impacted life in France. He does not want to see a repeat of that. So that was started off by a rise in fuel taxes and fuel prices. And many people who live in areas of France outside urban areas where they need their cars to get around were furious. And he's anxious not to make the same mistake again. I think this interview was also noticeable for what wasn't mentioned. There was nothing about security, law and order, which are big issues in France, immigration, which is also an issue. Those issues weren't touched upon at all. And so I think in many ways, it perhaps didn't meet the expectations of some people. He was asked about the recent Uber file scandal. I think he was very happy to revisit that. For him, he is completely unapologetic. He facilitated the arrival of Uber in France. He is betting that most French people are very glad about that. He did eventually introduce reglementation so that the employees of Uber had more job security. And I think he's quite proud of his record on that and was quite happy to revisit that subject in the interview. So some surprising questions and answers. Not sure who chose the questions and why some areas weren't touched upon.
OK, Angela Diffley, thank you very much.